For parents who have chosen to send your children back to in-person classes starting November 1st, please understand that there are some basic rules that you can follow to ensure that children transition with greater ease into the new routines in the school. They've become used to online classes for the last 18 months or so. So the in-person classes will have a few challenges that they may need support to adapt to. The best way to ensure that this transition is healthy is to set routines starting now, because children require between 21 days and 3 months to be able to adapt into a new routine. Make sure that the sleep habits, especially nighttime sleep, is regular, eating habits are regular, toilet habits have been set, and most importantly, that children have time for recreation and for academic work. As you start setting these routines right now, ensure also that you encourage a lot of independence in children. Why is this so important? If you start supporting children to become independent right now, it'll help them when they get to school to function from a space of confidence and not from dependence on a teacher or a helper. This helps them adapt faster and adjust into the new routine with greater ease. Many children will struggle with peer interaction because they've practically been isolated and away from a peer group for over 18 months. So at this point, if you're able to find a homogeneous group of children in your apartment complex or wherever you live, make sure that you're introducing children into small groups, maintaining all the safety protocols required during the pandemic, so that children are able to understand how to relate to each other, especially because they've been denied that for over 18 months. When you start this, you'll notice that children play alone. Then they are likely to play parallelly, that is in the same room but not with each other. Slowly, this will move to using toys and tools that belong to other people, and finally it will move to cooperative play. These stages take time, so make sure that you create the space for regular social interaction. Children are also likely to have a little bit of separation anxiety. Separation anxiety comes when children feel anxious about being separated from the primary caregiver, which is you, the parent. Now, to be able to overcome this, in the next 3 weeks, you could, as a parent, arrange for small periods of time when your child is away from you at a friend's place or in relative's place or in another supervised safe place where they understand that they're going to be away from you and that you will come back and pick them up after a particular period of time. This will slowly help them ease into school as well and help them overcome the sudden separation anxiety that may come when they are sent to school. Right now, you could start having small periods of time in the evening where your child does some kind of academic work, which will be required when they get back to school. Because in the online classes, if you notice, the concept of homework was never seriously taken. So now when the child goes back to school, there are going to be gaps in learning, especially because 18 months of online learning could not have done justice to overall learning and development in children. As a result, to address these gaps in learning, most schools are likely to have what are called bridge courses or courses that help children acquire skills that they've missed out in these 18 months. Set a time in the evening where you and your child can sit together and gently work in a supportive environment and acquire skills that can bridge these gaps in academic areas. Right now and after the school reopens, make sure that you have an open space for talking about emotions. Children are likely to experience a whole gamut of emotions that they're not able to regulate or sometimes even understand. So if fear comes up, or if there is a lot of sadness, or if there is grief, you may need to sit down as a parent and listen. For this, as parents, first we need to model healthy emotional regulation. Emotional regulation starts with emotional awareness. We as adults need to know what we are feeling, and when we feel something, it's important for us to be able to identify and to label the emotion as well. As we start modeling this, children will also find it easier to identify and to name or label their own emotions. Secondly, make sure that all emotions can be felt and expressed. Don't belittle children when they cry or when they show a particular emotion, because then what we are letting them know is that some emotions are acceptable in the house and some are not. And this will lead to emotional suppression or repression, which become very unhealthy in the long run. Don't minimize what your child is feeling. So if your child does come back from school with a lot of anger or sadness and are unable to cope with what is happening, make sure that you are the supportive parent they can come back to and be able to vent out whatever they're going through. Once they're able to express what they're feeling, you could sit together and brainstorm for solutions, because once a problem is identified, when you sit together in a supportive environment and brainstorm for solutions, it becomes easier for the child to be able to adapt into the situation while feeling empowered. In the problem solving process, make sure that you're not adding all the solutions. Let the child come up with the maximum number of solutions. If you find that something is very unreasonable, instead of saying no, that will not work out, what you could say is, okay, when you do this, what do you think will be the outcome? How do you think you can break it down into steps? Put it back as questions, because the child will find you being supportive, but at the same time, since the question comes to them, their own resources will look at the situation and realize that some things may work and some things may not. Together, decide upon what the child could try the next day or in another situation, and then sit together and review if that emotional regulation method or whatever the problem solution that you came up together worked out. In this way, children start understanding that even if something is extremely challenging, especially something like emotions, it is possible to find solutions, because you are caring, you are supportive, and the situation is challenging and they are capable of handling this. Overall, this will help them feel more confident and deal with situations with a lot more resilience. In spite of being supportive, if you find that your child is experiencing a lot of distress, please ensure that you meet a therapist who's qualified to work with children. Ensure, as always, that the routines are in place and screen time is minimized as much as possible. I understand that these are very difficult times, but I also believe that you and your child will be able to find the internal resources and tide over this crisis as you've done in the last 18 months. I hope this video was useful for you.